Dengan ini kita persilakan saudari DASHENA anak perempuan THANASEKARAN merupakan pelajar tingkatan 4 Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan PUTRAJAYA PRESINT 81 dengan tajuknya Cost of Living, Impact of Public Wellbeing. Dipersilakan.
The money has been received. Let me share a quote by an American television journalist, Bob Phillips. A credit card sometimes adds to the high cost of living, but more often to the cost of high living. A perfect day, I bid to the panel of judges, meticulous timekeepers, teachers, friends, and participants. My name is DASHENA THANASEKARAN, and today I'm here to discuss about the rising cost of living. What is cost of living? Cost of living is a measure of how expensive it is to live at a particular place at a particular time based on how much things like food, healthcare, rent, utilities, and petrol cost. As we all know, the world was recently hit by a life-threatening pandemic where even the most economically forward country was crippled by the sudden rise in the cost of living. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me share my perspective on how to combat the current hype issue on the rising cost of living. Let's begin by looking into our younger generation. Sadly, they've all become debtors at a very young age. Why, you may ask? This is because of their student loans that have taken a toll on them, both mentally and physically. Apart from that, after graduating, there are no promises of being employed. And currently, the job market is very competitive. Even if they do manage to land a job, they are only paid minimal wage. Based on their minimal salary, they are forced to keep up with the current trends and peer pressure that slowly adds up to their debts via personal loans and credit cards. Another factor I'd like to talk about that affects the rising cost of living is accommodations. Most rakyat these days are unable to buy their own house because of their low income. Thus, they end up renting one. Based on the current rent scale margin, I feel there are no control measures taken on all owners who wish to rent out their properties. This burdens the renters with even more debts as they are forced to take out even more loans to pay off their rents. In the long run, the rakyat start to suffer by paying their rents. To avoid this from happening, I'd suggest the government, which has practiced the private finance initiative, to be implemented, whereby a rented property can be owned after a certain grace period. My fellow audiences, next, allow me to continue with the most crucial need of living, which is food. Based on a research done in 2022, we can see that there's been a 6.9% increase in the food prices in Malaysia. Now, this may not seem like much to most of us, but to those who are living on a fixed income, they are forced to make impossible choices between paying for essential goods like housing or medicine. In the long run, the rakyat begins to fear spending their money as they're afraid that they'll fall deeper into debt. Although low-income families are given a helping hand through subsidies. Those who are of higher income households avoid spending their money. This is because of the rise in taxes. Why punish the rich, I must say? Lastly, let's talk about how the education system has been affected by the rise in the cost of living. Recently, there's been a hike in the number of student dropouts and those who do not wish to continue their education after Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM. This is because they believe that if they head straight into the working line, they are able to ease their family's financial burden. Many also tend to believe that by doing this, they are able that even if they do manage to continue their education, they are not working for what they have studied. They end up working just to pay off their student loans. This unhealthy work lifestyle can lead to pent-up stress among youngsters that can or will cause mental illnesses like stress, anxiety, or depression among them. Those who are fortunate can receive professional help, but many tend to end up in unexpected situations. My honorable judges, in conclusion, the rising cost of living is not an issue that can be solved in a blink of an eye, but an issue that needs constant research and cooperation from both the rakyat and the government for the betterment of the country's economical and financial growth. The more secure our economy, the safer our country will be for people from all walks of life to lead a comfortable living. I hope you all have learned a thing or two from my speech. That's all from me. Thank you.